The Jenner clan is growing a little bigger, and different parenting styles are getting harder to keep up with. Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott are expecting baby number 2. And if Stormi was any indication, we can expect a lot more extravagant parties and lavish purchases in the future for their newest bundle of joy. Sure, Kylie's been known to spend a few $100,000 on her children, so it's easy to see that spoiling her kids is nothing new for her. But there's a lot more to Kylie and Travis's parenting style than what meets the eye. And at first glance, you may not see how it differs from the parenting styles of the rest of the Jenner clan. Kylie and Travis are two major powerhouses in their industries. And as you'd probably imagine, being the daughter of these two insanely rich and famous Hollywood stars comes with its fair share of perks for one Stormi Webster. From closets full of designer clothes to having an entire theme park created for a birthday she likely won't remember when she's older, Stormi had it made. But don't let the glitz and glam of Hollywood fool you. At the end of the day, Kylie and Travis are still parents, and their job is to keep their children happy and healthy, while keeping a strong, united front. In order to do that, there have to be some rules in place. And in a September cover story for CR Men, Travis Scott talked openly about their more natural approach to parenting. He stated in the cover story, "We try to do a more natural vibe with parenting, like more self-discipline." In a March 2020 Harper's Bazaar cover story, Kylie herself stated, "We stay connected and coordinated. I think about my parents in situations with Stormi, what they would do. They were very hands-on with me, and I want the same for Stormi." While it's not our place to agree or disagree with any celebrity's parenting style where their children are involved, it's worth noting that Travis makes a pretty good point. Stormi lives a life that is so outside the norms of most kids her age, or most people in general. Luckily, Kylie has been pretty adamant about reminding Stormi that they live a very different life than the average person, and that they should be thankful for that.
And I just want you to know how blessed you are, baby.
With that being said, Kylie takes Stormi's privacy and safety very seriously and has rules put in place accordingly. For starters, phones have to be checked at the door. With an Instagram following of over 270 million people, an entire beauty and cosmetics line under her name, and international recognition from one of the most popular reality TV shows of our time, yeah, safety's a pretty big deal. Not to mention that Stormi's face is already pretty well known. That's just one of Kylie's many rules she has in place to protect her daughter, but she's likely taken at least some things from watching her older sisters over the years. However, that doesn't mean they share the same opinions on parenting styles and how to go about raising their growing number of children. As the youngest members of the Jenner family, well, not including grandchildren, that is, Kylie and Kendall are from a younger generation that tends to take a more modern approach to parenting. And while Kendall may not be a mother at this point, it's no surprise that Kylie's parenting style is unique compared to her sisters. If you've seen literally any episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, then you'll know that every member of the family is different in their own way. And this plays out in their parenting styles. Take Kourtney, for instance. Before their show ended, we could already see that Kourtney was very strict about certain aspects of her children's lives, and more relaxed in others. She's always been heavy on making sure Mason, Penelope, and Reign eat healthy, organic food, but isn't too keen on disciplining them in a way that makes sense to a lot of viewers. And even though that isn't necessarily anyone's business but her family's, she's been criticized for it. Khloe, on the other hand, has been known as the fun parent. And again, if you've seen the show, you'll know why. Khloe was known for being the fun, witty, and more carefree sister in the group. She could make a joke out of pretty much any situation, and you could always count on her to bring the life to a party. But she was also the voice of reason for her sisters in a lot of circumstances. It's no surprise that she takes the same approach with how she raises her daughter, True. Before Khloe had her first child, she was an aunt, and she opened up about how much she loved looking after her sister's kids. She told Us Weekly, "My house is the fun house for my nieces and nephews. We do arts and crafts and bake a lot. I'm like a big kid myself. At night when I babysit them, we have dance parties." Honestly, that sounds like a place that most of us would want to hang out at, even if we don't have kids. But let's not get confused. Khloe also knows how to put her foot down, as we've seen many times on the show. And it may come as a surprise to some, but Kim is assumed to be the strictest parent between them all. Then again, with Kanye West as a father, it makes sense why their family would be pretty strict. When you're someone who didn't grow up in an environment with so much excess, resources, and lavish expenses, Making sure your kids don't grow up with unrealistic views and expectations of the world is probably important. Before their recent split this year, Kim mentioned in a 2019 episode of The Real, "The kids are getting older. He's more cautious about what we have in the house. And we got rid of TVs in the kids' rooms and removed makeup from North's room." Then we have Kylie Jenner herself. What's unique about her parenting style is how she takes what she's learned from her older sisters and puts her own spin on things in a way that seems to work for her family. It's pretty interesting how she does this. While Kylie has no issue with spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on lavish parties or renting an entire school bus for Stormi, she's got some pretty strict rules. Notably, Stormi isn't allowed to watch TV. In 2018, Travis Scott told Rolling Stone, "Today, kids are on iPads. There's so much technology. They don't play outside anymore. With Stormi, no TV. That TV stuff is out." And while she does employ a nanny to help out when she can't be home, Kylie usually likes to bring Stormi around the world with her via private jet. And yes, it may be a private jet, but it also ties into the hands-on approach that Kylie aimed at achieving when she had her daughter. She also aims to keep Stormi as germ-free as possible. For this reason, it's easy to assume that any parties or sleepovers that involve Stormi will take place at Kylie's house, instead of leaving Stormi somewhere else. I mean, family may be an exception. But with Travis and Kylie's goal to keep Stormi's life private and away from the spotlight when they can, it's also safe to assume that they would only leave her with people they really trust. But on the other hand, while we're sure she works to make sure Stormi has a balanced diet, it doesn't seem that Kylie is strict about what Stormi eats compared to her older sister Courtney. According to Us Weekly, when Kylie shared some of Stormi's favorite food, it included turkey bacon, bagels, M&Ms, sushi, seaweed, and pomegranate seeds. Interesting taste palette for a 3-year-old. But even though Kylie has her own unique parenting style, she and her sisters still go to each other for advice. Kim Kardashian told E! News, "Kylie is up on all the new gadgets and the new baby stuff." Kim also mentioned that while she and Khloe have a similar parenting type, she's also grown closer to Kourtney since becoming a mother. In a video on Kylie's YouTube channel, Kylie asked her older sister Kourtney for parenting advice while doing her makeup. And even though they have different parenting styles, Kourtney dropped some great bits of wisdom. She told Kylie,
letting her be seen and heard and understood.
As for baby number 2, Kylie offered some of her own words of wisdom. She told Elle, "Be gentle with yourself. Motherhood is such a balancing act, and I just try to take it one day at a time." We couldn't agree more. With so many different parenting styles, it seems that baby number 2 might have a relatively well-rounded family to learn from. Even if that family is made up of the richest and most famous reality stars of our generation. What do you think about Kylie's parenting style and how it differs from the rest of the Kar-Jenners? Let us know in the comments below and subscribe to The Thing Celebrity for more videos just like this one.